On this video, I would like to give an example of what it means to have an agenda. As I said, this virus has been used as an excuse. I was trying to explain to my grandchild that it has nothing to do, the reason why it doesn't have camp is not because of the virus, it's because of people's agenda, using the virus as an excuse. It makes a big difference. Because you see, a lot of the children have been very affected by the fear and by this invisible enemy and by this deadly danger that is lurking everywhere. And they don't know what to make out of it because they don't understand that this virus is something that is curable. Nobody told them, and they think that everybody is in danger of dying. And they don't know how to protect, and they feel completely powerless for us. And it's giving them a lot of anxiety and is really traumatizing them. I just want to say that in passing, that I've met a lot of kids completely traumatized. And for them, there is life before Corona and life after Corona, because they think that now the world is completely different and they're living in fear. This is really, really bad. You know, I think that people that are older remember the time where kids could not go to sleep at night because they were afraid that there would be an atomic bomb sent by the Russian during the Cold War, because the media was so strong about giving these fear messages that it was catching, and the kids were getting sick and not knowing what to do about it and couldn't even talk about it because they didn't know what to make out of it. And this is the same thing here. If you have children, you have to have a big talk. And I would love to make a video for kids. If you need one, let me know and I'll try to put it together. Talking to the kids on plain level, explaining them what's going on. And it's very hard for children to understand that people would have an agenda, and because of that, they're killing people. This is very hard for children to understand this level of whatever. I'm not going to say the name. Okay, so yeah, let's give an example of agenda, okay? We said that everybody is using the virus for their own agenda. So talking about children, I want to say that the parents, and especially the mothers, that had to stay home working on the computer online, while every single kid is asking, this went down, the internet went down, and how do I do this, and how do I do that, and I need this, and I need that. Basically, they were the assistant teachers, if not the teachers. The student this year in very many schools did not learn what they were supposed to learn this year. They've been behind. That's a given. But some kids liked it and did very well. But if you think about it, I think in the population of high school kids, I think that there's a huge percentage, I don't remember the percentage, a huge percentage of high school kids that never checked in. They never registered. They never punched in that they even punched in that they're here, even if they did something else while the teacher's talking. A huge percentage of high school kids just didn't do anything about it. So parents are tired because it's a very big load, especially if you have more than one kid, and it doesn't work for many people. Some people have had to quit their job to take care of their kids. And what has been happening now, which is something that's really, really, I was saying from the very, very beginning, if the schools do not open, then people should get together. And what we used to do when my kids were very little and we didn't want to pay the high rate of private school for little kids, they used to have what they call merry-go-round. We'd had 5 mothers. Each mother would take one day of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And each mother would have the kids, like 5 kids or 6 kids. 5 kids would work perfectly well. And then the mother would have 4 days free, and one day she'd just have all the 5 kids. That was a very old-fashioned type of thing, but it worked very well for little kids. And each mother would do whatever it is that they were good at. What I heard now is that the parents are getting themselves together and they're pulling together the kids of the same age group, because of course the kids know who is in their class and they have their phone number or they're in touch, and you get 10 kids from the same age group for the same grade, and you are teaching these kids. Either you're teaching them yourselves, or you hire someone, or you do activities or whatever, and parents are doing that. It's called a mini school, and I think that it's absolutely wonderful. Kids are going to get a lot more attention, getting a lot more done, and have more freedom and more enjoyable, and I think it will be nicer altogether. So yeah, my hats off to the parents during this, this year. It's been a very big challenge. Okay, so now let's go back. The parents want the kids to go back to school. Let me tell you what happened. Early in April of this year, Professor Raoul, who is a famous virologist in France, did a study of hundreds and thousands of people that got together for various reasons. In France, they had a communal meeting of 5,000 people, and they had parties, religious functions where a lot of children attended, and everybody hugged each other, everybody kissed, and everybody ate together and sing and dance and whatever. And they found out that a lot of people got infected with the virus because they were transmitting it at these big, huge parties. But he also found out, he didn't understand, because first when the virus started, we thought the younger people and the older people will be the most, weak and affected by this. But they found out that none of the kids not only didn't get sick, but they didn't carry the virus at all. So that was a big surprise, but that was already in April of this year. That was the findings by researchers that had a big pool of people that they could pull from. So we knew that from a long time the kids are not affected with this, and certainly not the kids under 10 years old. When they get older, they're basically like adults, so they're the same thing. But the Medical Association of Pediatrics, the parents, the president, a lot of the kids want to go back to school, get back with their friends. If they didn't like school before, I think now they developed a taste for it. So everybody wants to go back to school, but what we have here in Los Angeles is the LAUSD, Los Angeles Unified School District, and the UTLA, the Union for the Teachers of Los Angeles. And so what we have is like this. The UTLA, the teachers unions, wrote, I don't know if it's 24 pages memorandum, what they call, and you can look it up online and you can just type it and you'll find it. It's called Same Storm, but Different Boats. Same storm, but different boats, by the UTLA. You can find it at utla.net. Basically, union are demanding things. They are refusing to go back to teach. They're basically on strike. So with the corona, the school closed, but now even if you wouldn't close the school, the teachers are refusing to go back because the union is monopolizing the decision. So like somebody said, you can't let a crisis go without taking advantage of it. So now there's these things going on with the virus, so they're taking advantage of it. So they wrote 24 pages of all the things that they considered conditions for going back to teach, that it should be safe and equitable. And safe is one thing. So of course they'll want everything to be provided with the, all the disinfectant and everything, whatever. By the way, the more you wash your hands, the more you take away the good bacteria that are on your hand that are protecting you from viruses. So keep that in mind. And especially the alcohol is taking away 200 of the good bacteria that are on your hand at all times, and therefore you're more affected by anything from the outside if you keep washing your hands and putting alcohol on it. I used to do that. I used to do all the things that I'm telling you not to do. But I learned that I educated myself, and I realized that what I'm being told is completely wrong. And I read study from Skip University from 10 years ago, and explaining how good it is to have our hands full of germs, because they are good germs, and these good germs are protecting us. If you keep putting alcohol on your hand, you're taking away the good flora of the good germs, and you're not being protected as much, just to let you know. Anyway, so what are the conditions for the teachers to go back to school for LAUSD in 2020-2021? The document is like this. As I said, they have requirement for health and things like that. But what they have is like this. The first thing that they want is money. It's not the first thing that they want. That's basically the only thing they want. But they're not saying, okay, give us more money, that's it. So they need to wrap it under a good protecting appearance. So all the money, for example, that was defunded from the police department should go now to the teachers. All right, so they want to be paid more. Right? So more money. Then they want that all the homeless should have housing. And that's a condition for going back to teach. And you want to tell me what that has to do with your kids going back to school? All right, so money for the homeless. Then they want more sick leave. In other words, the number of days that they can get sick is not enough. They should have more days of sick leave that are being paid. Remember, teachers get all vacations, all paid, holidays, and they have the summer off also. But they need more sick leaves. And that's the condition. If they don't get more sick leave, they're not going to teach your kids. They also want something like really, really interesting. There's charter schools. Charter schools are basically funded by the government, but there are schools that have a better education, that are more demanding maybe on the student, that are more strict, that are requiring students to achieve instead of just giving passing grade. Because really now, the schools told the students that they don't need to do any exam, they will just get passing grade this year for doing nothing. So it's really high school kids, they love that. They didn't do anything and they're getting the grades. That's what the teachers decided this year. So the charter schools are schools that are, subventioned by the government, and they are very good school. In other words, if you can get into one of the schools, it's like going into a private school, except that it's free. And so they have very good names. They are, really attract a lot of people in that neighborhood. People will pay a premium in real estate in order to have the ability to send their kids to such a school, because it's like sending to private school without having to pay tuition. So the teachers of LAUSD want all the charter schools to close. They don't want competition. They don't want to be shown that you can do better. They don't want to be shown that kids can actually learn how to read and write and do their homework. They want all the charter school to close. That's the condition for teaching your kids again this year. Another one, they want money for illegal family. You know that we live in California. There's a lot of illegal immigrants here. I'm an immigrant, so I have nothing against immigrants, but I'm just saying if you do it illegally, that's one thing. If you do it legally, that's another. Okay, I'm not being, talking about immigration over here. But now these illegal people come into the country. Their kids are born in the country sometimes, and they get free everything. I know firsthand because I know someone who is illegal, but their kids are legal, they're born here, getting 3 times a week free therapy for 5 years. But the kid has nothing. She just was born premature. But that's what the government is giving these people. She's getting more in care than what I can afford in healthcare. She's getting it for free. So that's illegal immigration for us. We're paying for these people to get care. But it's not enough. The LAUSD people, the teachers, want that a lot of money should be given to the families. In other words, to the parents of these kids, to the parents that are illegal immigrants. They should now get a lot of money. And if they don't get it, they're not going to be teaching your kids. Another condition, there should be no more immigration tracking. The government should not try to figure out who is in the country in an illegal manner. That's what the teachers want to go back to school. So, as I said, what does this have to do with education? Except the charter school, okay? They don't want to be shown that they can do better. Nothing. It has to do with money. Giving money, give us money, get more money. They also want more money for Title I. Private tutoring in the school system. We should have more private tutoring in the school system. Because I believe that Title I is for every school, even private school. But they want more of that. I wonder the amount of Title I that you need in a regular school and the amount of Title I classes or private tutoring that you need in a charter school. Anyway, also what they want is teachers should be able to get personal loans. Anyway, that's all the demands. All right. So they want property tax to be raised. They want more money. They want a wealth tax on people. More wealth tax. It's all about money, nothing to do with education. So as I said, the parents are tired of the Zooming. The kids don't enjoy it because they want to be with their friends. They want to play around. They want to play ball. They want to have fun together. It doesn't work for a lot of people, but the teachers are using the virus. And then I'm just giving this as an example because you can use that virus for anything you want and put it on the virus's head. So this is what the teachers are doing. And this is why the kids are not back in school. They want more money. So basically they're on strike. Nothing to do with the virus. That was just an example that I wanted to give you. so that you understand. This is a little example just here, but everywhere people have been using this virus, telling you a whole bunch of lies so that you buy into their agenda. It's up to you to choose.